a
Oh,
lot
before I
of stuff,
forget. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
a lot of stuff in astrology. People do it, and people, other astrologers, oh, that's great. I'm going to use it. You know.
But if it doesn't work, yeah. I mean, I wanted to, the thing about Nancy Guthrie, just to backtrack a little bit, is I looked at the chart and I just, from what I could tell, it looked like I don't think they're going to find her. But I mean, what do you feel about about the Nancy Guthrie case? Did you look at the charts at all? I looked at the
Well,
911 call and then when her pacemaker got disconnected. Those are the two times I looked at.
looking at her chart, with if you got a right thing, if a right rectified chart,
Mm-hmm.
then it would tell you why she got, why she got
Mm,
adopted. Uh, it could describe the adopter, if it's a man or a woman, if he's tall and short,
yeah,
if
it
he's
looked, I
this
remember it was
and
the
that.
third house and it looked like a man with dark hair. But I
Yeah,
just didn't see, to me, I looked to the fourth to see if I'm going to find the body, if she's going to be buried, in other words. And I
yeah.
remember I didn't see that, but I mean, I don't know. What did you feel about the chart?
I don't know. I never, I never look at a person's chart to see, you know,
But in
timing
the
and
in a missing person case, though, do you ever look to see if they're going to be recovered? Will they be found? I mean, do you ever look for that, or what do you look for to see if they are going to be found? Dead or alive.
yeah. I'd have to look at her chart. I never look at her chart. I never did anything with her. Like I said, people say, they write me every day. They say, Al, you should make 1 million with that. I don't need the million. I'm all set.
But what would you look for to see if the person, whatever chart, not just Nancy, what do you look for to see if they're going to be found? Do you look to the
Well,
fourth at all to see if they're going to be
it,
found, or
it,
what do you think?
well, if she has to be fine, then the ruler of the ascendant has to be, because the ascendant is the moment, and it's the moment that ties you with the outside world, the ascendant.
Okay.
So I would look at the ascendant,
Mm-hmm.
ruler of planets in the first house, and see if she's going to be found, when she's going to be found.
Okay. That gives you an idea what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, do you have any other tips that we need to think about when we say rectify a chart or eclipses? I mean, what is it that you would say that we need to really keep in mind when we're doing our charts?
You mean doing a chart?
Yeah, any charts. What is it? First we have to make sure it's right. I mean, do you have any other advice on rectifying a chart?
Well, I wrote a program. My Star Trek program has a great rectification in there. I tell
Oh,
you, I can rectify chart in less than an hour,
wow.
and
Okay.
and you know, it's like I lack the one. So I'm not one to push my whatever I do. I'm too busy working. That's an
Right.
eight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's a semi-square. I've got to work. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, for instance, when I lecture, I tell people, especially if I lecture on the election, I have a program called Father Time. You can come out with any election. Best, I tell client, I mean astrologers there, give me 5 minutes. I'll give you 2 days, and I'll come up with a better election chart with you, with my software, than you will.
How do you do
Because,
that, or what do you look for? What do you look for in an electional chart?
well, of course, it all depends. If you're
Mm-hmm.
looking to sell a house, you're looking for the ascendant, the fourth house, and the seventh house. Why the seventh house? Because that's the buyer.
Ah, right.
So if you've got a bad seventh house, you're not going to get a buyer, even though you got a good first and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And and you know, of course, a grain trine is the thing that you need. But one of the strongest chart for election, especially a business or something that you do an election chart like a marriage for, for a long time. A kite
Hmm.
is the best one.
A kite, really?
Yeah, because a kite keeps going up.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I hadn't thought about that. That's a
And
great point.
remember in the kite, uh, uh, you got where the two sextile is. That's the front of a kite. Then you got
Hmm.
an opposition from the two sextile planet hitting the tail of the kite, and that tail, uh, uh, you know, if you do an election chart or somebody got married under a kite
Hmm.
and they get a divorce, I've looked at a lot of them. It's
Hmm.
because the tail of the kite, they couldn't control that. Because, when you fly a kite, if you put a ribbon at the tail, if you put too much weight on the tail, then the kite goes up and it flips over. If you don't put enough weight, then it takes a long time to get up there because
Hmm.
it puts the angle on the kite. And so that planet there, for any client that has a kite, they have to understand where that tail is and how
Hmm.
to control it because that's the one that's going to kill him. That's the one that they're going to climb, climb, climb. And the first thing you know, the kites are going to flip over and drop on the ground. The situation. So
Yeah. Makes sense. But how would you balance out something like that? Well, how would you balance that out? When
how
you
would
see
you?
something like that, how would you balance it out?
Well, first of all, is that you have to watch that planet there when it gets hit, or let's say it's Mars. That means zip of your mouth when you get upset.
Yeah.
Because every time you open your big mouth, you're gonna flip over.
Hmm.
So it all depends. It's all in astrology.
Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna have to check out, that software. I've been meaning to check out your software, but it sounds exactly what I need because I've
Yeah,
I've tried all kinds of software and they're all way off. At least yours I know is accurate.
our so I don't want to brag, but my software, the Star Trek, I tell you, you can find anything in the sky, and it's designed around being a good astrologer, not a. We have
Hmm.
dynamic astrology in there. It's very good. I give it to client I print out the dynamic astrology. It's all graphic. Say, this day, this week, do something here.
Hmm.
Don't do anything. And we have everything in there. We have a rectification program, which, like I said, can rectify chart. We have where you can find patterns in the sky. I tell you, this stuff, the Star Trek is designed around my business. And
Hmm.
why my business was so good, because I give my client the right answers. You give them the right answers, they keep coming back every year.
That's true. But how, when you first were starting out though, and I can't imagine when you're first starting out you lectured. I mean, when you were first starting out, how did you build your practice?
What's that?
Well, people listening to you are going to be, people starting out. So how did you like start out? You didn't start out lecturing because nobody like knew you when you first came out, you know? How did you build up that early business? How'd you get going?
Well, I started, I don't know, I got a few clients. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, First of all, in the first year that I got into astrology, I got my own radio show. And
Ah,
I did that for about 10 years, and then it was too
10
much.
years.
I had to quit.
Oh yeah, that's a long, I've done them for a year and that burns me out. 10
Yeah,
years, that's a lot.
once a week I had a radio show. But again, to show you that I'm a one means that I never
Mm.
push myself.
Uh.
Uh, since the UAC in DC, which I think it was in the late 80s,
Mhm.
uh, I was nominated uh, uh, for receive an award for research. All right.
Mhm.
And ever since then, every UAC, I was nominated with other people. And people that won the research, like, they never done any research in their life. And there I had a whole group meeting every Tuesday night,
Mhm.
for 2 hours doing research all over the world. And this is why
Mhm.
uh, uh, I just had an email over the weekend, uh, last weekend, saying, we want to put you uh, uh, to be nominated for research. Guess what I told the woman? I said,
Mm.
I won't be at UAC. So all this time over here, people that got the award from UAC never did their research.
Mm. Do,
But that's
yeah.
because they're big mouth and they say, look what I've done, look what I've done. I never did that.
Oh, I love research. I helped Doris Stone with her 30 years of research, and that got me hooked on it. And then I would take jobs. Like I took a job at a fertility clinic because I wanted to see more about conception and how I could predict it. So I had access to the files. And then I took another job at a mortgage company to get access to the files. So I was able to tell when, the house was going to sell because I would take the deed to the house like a birth chart, and it worked just like a person. You could tell when it was going to come up for sale again, that kind of thing.